Hello and welcome to government class. We're looking at the revenue allocation commissions in Nigeria in our previous classes, and we talked about the Rayman Commission of 1958. The commission was set up towards the period of independence when Nigeria was already experiencing full federalism. The commission suggested the establishment of the distributed pool account. The distributed pool account. The DPA is the distributed pool account is the state shares of the federation's account. This is the state share of the federation account, and it amounts to the state share of the divisible taxes. It amounts to the state share of divisible taxes. What are these divisible taxes? Export income, personal income tax, mining rent, and loyalties with fixed regional proportions. So this principle also favored the principle of derivation, in that it is how much the states it is what the states bring in that determines what the government equally gives them. So the larger the population, and it favored the derivation of the principle of derivation. Also, the principle, the Rayman Commission of 1958 also recommended the fiscal autonomy. The higher the population, the higher the resources and revenue accruable to the to such tier of government. The revenue and resources allocated were as follows. Under the Rayman Commission of 1958, 40% were given to the north, 31% was given to the east, 24% to the west, and 5% to southern Cameroon. So that was how the nation's resources was divided according to the Rayman Commission of 1958. And the commission brought the suggestion of using the DPA, the distributed pool account, and the fiscal autonomy principles to share the nation's resources. The next commission we'll be looking at is the Beans Commission of 1964. This was the first post-independence revenue allocation commission set up during the First Republic administration of Alhaji Sir Tafawa Balewa. So the Beans Commission was the first post-independence commission that was set up. It was set up during the First Republican administration of Sir Tafawa Balewa, Alhaji Tafawa Balewa, and Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. The Beans Commission was only made some adjustments to the recommendations on the recommendation of Raisman, on the Raisman Commission's recommendation of 1958. So the Beans Commission only made some adjustments to the recommendations of the Raisman's Commission of 1958 by altering the sharing formula. It altered the sharing formula as follows. 42% was given to the north, 30% was given to the east, 20% was given to the west, and 8% was given to the Midwest. So it just altered the sharing formula of the Rayman Commission of 1958. And the Beans Commission is equally the first post-independence revenue allocation commission to be set up. It was set up during the First Republican administration of Alhaji Sir Tafawa Balewa and Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. The next revenue allocation commission we'll be looking at is the Dinar Commission of 1968. The Dinar Commission of 1968. The Dinar's Commission of 1968. This was the first revenue allocation commission set up during the military government in the country. It was the first revenue allocation to be set up during the military government regime in Nigeria. It was set up by General Yakubu Gowon in 1968 as a result of the 12 states created on the 27th of May 1967. So General Yakubu Gowon divided the 4 regions that we had in Nigeria, as at that time we had the western region, the eastern region, the northern region, and the Midwestern region. So General Yakubu Gowon, he divided these 4 regions into 12 states. He divided the regions into 12 states on 27th of May 1967. And because of the division of the country into more states, there was a need to set up a commission to allocate revenues between these states, and that was the reason for the creation of the Dinar's Commission of 1968. It was created so as to equally distribute the nation's resources amongst the 12 newly created state. The commission was chaired by Chief I.O. Dina, the permanent secretary in the Western State in July 1968. It was chaired by Chief I.O. Dina, who was the permanent secretary in the Western State in July 1968. The outcome of the commission recommended the use of principle of derivation, needs and the needs of the state and the need for even development of the country. So the outcome of the Dina's commission was they recommended the derivation principles, that the nation's resources should be shared based on the amount of natural resources that a country gives to that a country produces or has, based on the amount of natural resources that a country has. It also used the principle of needs of a state. So based on the state that has more needs will be given more allocation rather than the state that has lesser needs. It also used the principle of even development, the need for every part of the country to be evenly developed. They also used the commission also came up with the principle of even development for allocation resources. So in total, the Dina's Commission of 1968 came up with 3 principles for revenue allocation, which are the principle of derivation, the derivation principle, the needs of the nation of the state, and the need for even development of the country. So these were the outcomes of the commission, of the Dina's commission. The commission stipulated that the revenue to be shared or allocated to the region or state must pass through the distributed pool account, except 20% of the resources or income, which must go to the state of origin, or derivation. So the commission also said that the revenue to be shared and allocated to the regions or states must pass through the distributed pool account. And we looked at what the distributed pool account was when we looked at Reisman Commission. The distributed pool account is the state share of the federation's account, and it amounts to the state share of divisible tax based on things like income, import, export, personal income tax, mining, rent, and loyalty. So the commission stipulated that the revenue to be shared and allocated to region or states must pass through the distributed pool account, except 20% of the resources or income, which must go to the state of origin or derivation. The recommendations of Dina's commission was rejected by the military government. The military did not accept this revenue, the outcomes of the Dina commission. The Dina Commission of 1968. With this, we've come to the end of this class. In the course of this class, we looked at 4 revenue allocation commissions in Nigeria. We looked at the Chicks Commission of 1953, the Rayman Commission of 1958, the Beans Commission of 1964, and the Dina's Commission of 1968. In the next class, we'll be continuing the series on revenue allocation commission in Nigeria. And I'll see you at the next class.